Hi there, it's Maria from the Tarot Shop here, and in this video I just wanted to show you how I bond with a new deck. Now I have actually opened this one, but so it's not cellophane wrapped inside, but it hasn't actually been put to work at the moment, so it's a really good example. And actually the light seers is somebody mentioned it, and I thought, well, okay, well, I'll go through that with you then. So imagine that this deck has just arrived in the post, and I want to get to work with it as soon as possible, assuming that I know the Rider-Waite, because this is very much a Rider-Waite based deck. And I spent some time looking through it to go, actually, okay, I'm comfortable with the images. I'm pretty confident that I would read okay with it. So I need to just get started with it. So the first thing I do is I create the environment. So I've got some little bits of incensey things here. So I just dig around in there, make a mess everywhere, just to create some scent. This is one that works for love. So I'm basically getting to know my deck. I'm not going to do the incense right now, actually. I'm going to just try not to burn myself and light a candle. It's always a bit of a risk. I've got one of those, there you are, one of those long candles, you know, that you have in the kitchen, lighter. Sorry, that I usually use for these because I'm shocking with lighters. Okay, so I've got this brand new deck, and I will take it out, and bear in mind that it's all in order. So you've got all of the major arcanas and all of the suits are in the same place. I won't be using that. And then I take it out and I put it to one side. And then I say, right, I spend a moment or two just literally holding it, welcoming it to my world. Just literally spend some time. Thank you for arriving. Thank you for coming into my life. And let's do some good work together. You just spend some time, and this is all about imprinting your energy, your intention, and your purpose into this lovely new deck. So this is what you do for just a moment or two, and then when you've finished this, you need to take it out of order, because you won't be able to work with it if it's in order. And as I say, I'm assuming that you do know it. So I literally create 4 separate piles. Just bear with me while I do this. It may take a moment or two. So I'll do a couple like that. Then I'll go from the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just literally, you don't have to do this. You can put them all on the table and you can shuffle them all around. The most important thing is that as you're doing what I'm doing, which is effectively touching every single card. Because it's important to start working with these cards. You can look at them while you're doing it. Look at the lovely imagery. Make sure that you're comfortable with the deck, that that you feel, yes, it still feels like a really good deck. We can do some good work together. And just keep creating 4 piles. I do 4 because it spreads it out a lot more. You'll see in a second what I'm going to do. And just keep going. Lovely imagery, isn't it, with this light seers. Okay, we're going to just keep going at it. 2. Sorry, it's a bit laborious, but it's important. Everything is important. Just enjoy the imagery, can't you, while I'm just doing this? This is very much, and it's a Rider-Waite based. I always say it's quite boho. I don't know if that's still a word. I never know these days. As you know, I've got a teenager and she keeps telling me I've got words wrong. I mean, we don't say that anymore. It's not cool. Okay. In my world, boho is still a word. And it means something that's quite eclectic, which I believe this deck is. Now we have 4 different piles. So what we will do now is we will do some further mixing. And this is a shuffle. So now I've touched every one of them. I'm going to shuffle each little one. Just give them a good old shuffle around. Oops, we'll throw them around as well. Why not? Add into the mix. That's naughty. You see, that's the devil. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Just do it again here. Put them together. You'll probably know what I'm going to do now. Just give this another little shuffle, and another little shuffle. Oh, look, the Fool has come and said to you, look, we're having a new adventure together. How wonderful. Okay. Queen of Wands. We're going to have some fun. So we literally are still shuffling and imprinting and shuffling and imprinting. And you're saying all of the time, welcome to my life. You feel that bond beginning to grow. You love this deck. You chose it. It's beautiful. It's so you. You feel all of this love pouring into this new deck. And you say again, thank you so much for coming into my life. And we have work to do. We're going to do some good work together. And you're talking to it. You're letting it know what your intention is, you see. And that's it. You just keep going like that. Now what I do is I just do one last, just keep going through again, just to make sure that we've pretty much done this. So I'm just dividing essentially what I'm doing. I don't really need to keep doing this, but, you know, with me, I cannot give things up. I have to keep going. So I'll just keep doing it a couple at a time. There we are. We're creating two piles. We're going to mix them all together like so, like yay. Does it look quite mixed? Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, they're quite mixed up, aren't they? So we've got quite a mixed up deck now. So we're ready to start working. Now what I do is I cleanse it. This is a brand new deck, remember? You can cleanse it before you mix it if you want to. You could do that. I don't tend to, but you could. It would certainly make sense, wouldn't it? So we're just letting that last bit of residue go from where its box was. So with this, we just literally light the incense candle. It's not a candle, is it? Stick. This is a Nag Champa. It's one of my favourites. Choose whatever one you want. It really isn't important. It's going to go right in front of the camera. There we go. So you have your little smoke area there. You're cleansing it with air. This is air element. You pass each one through. I'm going to move it to one side because I think it's just going literally in front of the camera, isn't it? Let's pop it to one side there. It's probably still going to do it. There we go. And we keep going right the way through. Each one high. It's not going to, I'm going to have to relight it. Hang on a second. The only trouble with these is they do tend to, and then of course I can't light it. As I said, nightmare with lighters. Let's burn it down a little bit longer. Get a good, there we go. That's definitely a light now. Hi there, welcome to my live. We're going to make a great team together, you and I. We're going to work very well together. I'm cleansing you from all of the newness, if you like, really, of being put in plastic cellophane and then in a wooden box, and from your shop to my door and all those sorts of things. And now we are going to become united. We're going to become a team. I will always be really clear with you about what my intention is. And thank you in advance for the wisdom of your messages. And this is exactly, you imagine you're talking to a wizard. But you must remember this. Please do remember that you are in control of your life. This is a tool. We use it as a tool to allow it to show us things that we can't quite see. You know, when you get so bogged down into a situation that you just can't see properly and you feel quite frustrated, if you've got any blockages, or if you are, you know, you can't see, you want to know if you're going to meet that man of your dreams, you know, is he there, or that lady of your dreams? And, you know, will you have children? Is that, you know, all those sorts of things. Will you buy that new house? You can ask all these sorts of questions through what's called a tarot spread. And you choose a tarot spread, go on the internet, find a good tarot spread that you want to use, or you can use one of mine, and you just literally do that. And you can see I've now cleansed it. Now, one of the other things I do is I usually have a bag for my cards, and then I literally pop the bag, not sit the incense on it, but I'll put the bag through the incense as well. And then I may have a crystal that for a little while, if this is my favourite crystal, then I'll pop my crystal on there just to give it a little bit of a boost of energy, because we're going to be doing some work together. And there's a chance that, you know, when they're new, they're not quite as I don't want to say as powerful. They're not quite as in tune with you until you've used them a few times. You only have to do a few readings with them for yourself. To start with, do dailies, weeklies, do lots of 3-card spreads on all the subjects of your life. You just keep doing the spreads and doing the spreads, and then it feels right. So let's say these have been, and the other thing I do is I always put a new deck by my bedside, so at night, so I sleep in my dream state with this new deck by the side of my bed, so that I can get to know it sooner rather than later. I do tend to, I wouldn't say I rush it, but I do tend to have, I'm not a particularly patient person. And if I've bought a deck, I want to get to work with it as soon as possible. You don't have to go through all of this with an oracle deck, but I think it's nice to do it if it's a deck that you're going to be using quite a lot. So we've done lots of shuffling. I'm just going to take 3 cards and say if there was, oh, and I'm going to knock that over. Let me just pop that to one side before I burn the house down. Or the room down, sorry. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to ask the cards if there's, say the best laid plans of mice and men. Is there something that you would like to tell the viewers about how to best work with a new deck? That fell out. I think be strong in your communications and be generous. You know, with yourself, I think more than others, because, you know, you need to remember that it's a gift that you're giving to somebody. You know, it's, you're doing it for a reason, and it's with a good heart and good intention. So is there anything else you want to say? Just one card, please. I'm just going to cut halfway through. You know, take your time. With the 4 of Swords, it's you're having a restful time. So just take some time. Don't rush this. Take your time, and your deck will very soon become part. It says that's almost a contradiction, as there. Take your time in it very soon, but to me it's very soon. You know, it can take as long as it takes till you feel really comfortable. When you just almost the instant you see the card come down, you're like, yes, this is it. I know how it works now. And the Hermit is all about that. You know, inner journey, isn't it? So that's it. That's how I bond with a deck. You could cleanse before you divide the deck up. Place it by your bedside at night. Give it your favourite crystal to kind of give it a little bit of an extra boost, and just work with it. Keep working with it until you become bonded and blended. So I hope that you found that helpful, and thanks very much for your time. Bye bye.